Types of comprehension questions. Cambridge O-Level English Language. Paper 2, Reading. Reading for meaning. Passage 2. Types of questions. 1. Literal question. 2. Own words question. 3. Quotation question. 4. Inferential question. 5. Writer's craft question. 6. Vocabulary question. 7. Meaning and effect question. 1. Literal question. This type of question refers to an understanding of the straightforward meaning of the passage. The answer to such a question is quite obvious. It can be written directly from the passage. However, you should focus on the precise question being asked and should be careful not to copy a long section of the passage in the hope that the examiner will do all the work to pick out the relevant answer. The keyword in the question directs you towards the answer. Literal questions are mostly who, which, where, when, how, why and what questions. A. The who question asks you to identify a person. B. The which question asks you to identify a thing. C. The where question asks you to identify a place. D. The when question asks you to identify a time. E. The how question asks you to identify a method or a process. F. The why question asks you to identify a reason. G. The what question might be slightly tricky. Each what question can have a different requirement depending on how it is phrased. Examples. What sort of job does Colin prefer? What fact does the passage tell you about the rainforest? What was the appearance of the place after the tsunami? What happened later that showed how effective Peter was as a team leader? What were the reasons for the mother not to allow the children out of the house? Literal questions may also start with explain, describe, state, write, etc. 2. Own words question. This type of question asks you to explain or describe in your own words. You need to look for the keywords in the passage and replace them using their contextual synonyms. In other words, it is a literal question that requires you to use your own words. If you give a correct answer which is not in your own words, you will not achieve any mark. The number of marks tells the number of keywords to be found. 3. Quotation question. This type of question asks you to pick out a word, a phrase, an expression, a sentence, etc. from the passage which conveys a particular idea. You need to write the same way as it is written in the passage. You do not need to use quotation marks unless you are told to quote. Examples. Give one word used in the paragraph which. Give the expression used in the paragraph which conveys. Give the phrase used in the paragraph which conveys. Give the sentence which shows. Pick out and write down one word used in the paragraph which. Write down the single word which shows. If the question asks you to pick out a specific number of words, make sure you have that exact number of words in your answer, no more, no less. If the question asks to pick out 2 consecutive words, you should pick out 2 words written consecutively. If the question asks you to give a phrase, do not give a sentence, and vice versa. If the question asks to pick out an expression, the shortest possible answer is a phrase, while the longest possible answer is a sentence. You must remember to ensure that your answer is accurate. Every word in your answer must be both necessary and relevant to the question. 4. Inferential question. This type of question involves more than a literal understanding of a passage. Initially, you may face difficulty answering the inferential question as the answer is not explicitly stated. This question involves you to combine your literal understanding of the passage with your own knowledge and intuitions. It requires to use clues found in the passage to make certain deductions. It also requires you to read between the lines and figure out what the writer is implying. You need to tackle an inferential question by using hypothesis, deduction and prediction skills. To answer an inferential question, you can start a guessing game. Pretend you are an animal, and provide your friends hints or clues as to which animal. For example, I am very large. I have big ears. I have pillar-like legs. What creature am I? Inference can be used in several ways. You can infer a general fact or a precise piece of information. Emotions, feelings and characteristics of a character in the passage. Information about the author, opinions, feelings, views, ideas, attitudes, perspectives, etc. To infer successfully you can work out answer from clues in the passage. Work out answer from the connotation of words used in the passage. A connotation is a feeling or idea that a word has, in addition to its literal or main meaning, the denotation. Match something in the passage to your own understanding, experience or knowledge to come up with a right answer. Some signposts towards inferential questions. Do you think? How can you tell? How do you know? Suggest a reason why. What do you think? What evidence is there to show that? What possible explanation is there for? Who do you think? Why do you think? Why might? 5. Writer's craft question. This type of question tests your understanding, investigating and appreciating the writer's use of language and organizational style within the passage in order to develop your analytical and evaluative skills. This question goes beyond the literal and the inferential questions. Craft is the art of writing. It is the writer's intentional use of the technique to create an effect on the reader. Categories of craft. Word craft. Structural craft. Audible craft. Visual craft. Sample writer's craft questions. 1. Peter and Marion went on yet another trip to the market. What effect does the writer achieve by the use of the word yet? 2. The stallholder claimed that the tortoise was made of genuine jade. What effect does the word claimed have that would not be achieved by said? 3. The writer says that the doctor's voice was coming at her. What effect is created by the expression coming at? 4. What does the word fixed tell you about Amir's feelings at this point? 5. What effect does the writer achieve by the final short sentence? 6. What effect is achieved by their word theatrical to describe Akira's laughter that would not be achieved by the word hearty? 7. Why is it appropriate to describe the fireworks as bouquets of fire? 6. Vocabulary question. This type of question asks you to work out the meaning of a word or phrase in the passage. You will have 4 possible answers to consider before choosing which of these has the same meaning that the word or phrase has in the passage. Select the best possible option that is appropriate to the context. Step 1. Check the context of the word or phrase. The context is the area around the word or phrase, and the key to understanding may lie in the passage before rather than after the word or phrase in the passage. Step 2. Read carefully the passage in the area of the word or phrase, substituting each of the four options to decide which of these gives a synonym for the sense of the original passage. One would be completely wrong. Other two would be close enough. Step 3. Choose the one which is correct according to the context of the passage. 7. Meaning and effect question. This type of question asks you to explain the meaning of a phrase and how that phrase creates or suggests a particular idea, situation, emotion, feeling, atmosphere or aspect of character. Meaning. The meaning question requires you to figure out the precise meaning of a certain phrase and to explain in your own words by understanding and appreciating the writer's use of language. You need to bring a subject, possibly a noun, from the passage and explain clearly. Effect. The effect question requires you to figure out the impact or the tone that the writer wants to create by using specific words or phrase. Analyze how the writer has used the language for effect or for symbolic meaning. Annotate each word to figure out any particular idea, situation, emotion, feeling, atmosphere, aspect of character, etc. Write the effect of the words or phrase precisely. Some useful expressions to write effect. It contributes to. It conveys. It stresses. It emphasizes. It gives a sense of. It demonstrates. It describes how. It explores. It implies. It makes. It presents how. It shows how. It suggests. Some words and phrases to suggest a particular idea, situation, emotion, feeling or aspect of character. Affection, annoyance, anticipation, apprehension, astonishment, attention, avoidance, bewilderedness, boldness, calmness, caring, curiosity, confusion, depressing situation, determination, dignity, disagreement, dramatic expression, eagerness, embarrassment, enthusiastic, exaggeration, falseness, fear, fearful, force, freedom, fright, frightening situation, guilty, happiness, hardship, helpful attitude, hopelessness, indifference, innovative power, lack of planning, laziness, monotony, negativity, obligation, painful life, panic, peace, pleasant behavior, power, prestige, pride, relaxation, relief, respect, sadness, senselessness, shame, sorrow, strength, stress, strong willingness, shocked, superstition, sympathetic, tension, threat, tragic condition, trustworthiness, unhappiness, unwillingness, upset, uselessness, victory, weakness, worry. Thank you.